Wow, a lot of people are more focused on this. Well, here's what happened between the breakup with Omar Epps and Sanaa Lathan. This is crazy suggestions I got for this. This is over 2 months old, y'all. People were suggesting this about 2.5 months ago, April. So here it go. And thank you for your Cash App donation. You donated very well to the Cash App. My name is Carcino for the Cash App, and emails are going out to those who have sent out emails in the Streamlab. I appreciate it, and it's definitely going out right now. Now, for everyone else, let's get to it. Now, Sanaa Lathan and Omar Epps, they first started really talking during the Wood days. They were working on the film The Wood, and even though, she kind of had a small part in there near the end where they kind of hook up and everything else, but The Wood is a great coming of age film, and they were able to have a lot of time to, speak to one another, and these certain things sparked. And at the time, they were just like friends, and a lot of people thought they were a couple. They really weren't a couple yet. Omar was in a relationship that was kind of ending, and at that time, relationships and with people who people think are dating is not nearly the quick case. So she was doing a film called The Best Man, and that's when you know uh, things had started to develop a little bit between the two. They started to hit it off a little bit more than usual. Now, The Best Man, Omar Epps ended up turning down this film. Malcolm D. Lee was doing that film, The Best Man, which ended up becoming a hit film and just carrying on for a greater period of time. Where Tay Diggs was the it guy at the time. He was like that main guy, and Nia Long was the like main girl back then. So naturally that made sense. But Omar Epps didn't get picked for the film, even though his agent was pitching for it. But he didn't get picked. It was no big deal. Sorry about that. He didn't get picked. It was no real big deal about it. Just didn't get picked. So that happened. They went with a lesser known actor for the role, but it's all good. So anyway, Omar Epps was a guy who was getting, like A-list type roles. He was getting starting roles. He's getting first call sheet type of roles, and he had a film coming up called Love and Basketball. And Gina Price, Bythewood, she wrote this book, she wrote the movie, she directed it. And normally when you write and direct a film, you know who you want to play in this movie. Omar Epps is somebody she wanted to play Quincy. So this became such a huge role that was going to have to be played by Monica, the female, basketball star. And this was the birth of the WNBA. So this actually tied and played into the WNBA too. But this was actually a love story that has something to do with that was never told about the actual relationship between two collegiate athletes who were, growing up together. And you never seen what happened with a parent of someone who was in the NBA. Somebody said this is the Kobe Bryant love story, where he learned out he thought his dad was Superman until he found out his dad was just, low down and everything else. But it was just, it was a beautiful movie. But Sanaa Lathan was never picked or chosen to be the star of this film. Like, they did not want to cast her for Love and Basketball. But the thing is, the actress says that she wanted, Gina wanted to get, she couldn't really get. So she had to keep bringing in Sanaa Lathan, like for another audition callback, and she could feel that, she just don't want me, to play this role. Like, I can't play it no better. What more does she want to see? So it's frustrating. So after like four callbacks, like four reads, and she was trying to hold out until certain people were done. Till they told her, like, look, you're costing money and you're gonna lose some people that you already got booked because they got other things they got to do. Why are you holding this up? Let's get this girl. She auditioned. She was good for the role. These two are dating in real life. So, and that's what she feared. She's like, that's what I don't want to date. Like the couples who are dating in real life in the film. That kind of ruins the story because everybody knows they're together, and it kind of ruins my movie. So she had that going into it. So Omar, really fought for her to get the role and said, I want to work with her, and so on and so on. So Love and Hip Hop goes down, and it is like epic. This is every black romantic film of all time. Everybody loves this movie. People are raving about it. They hold it in their heart. Oh my God, I love this film. Love and Hip Hop goes ahead and does. I mean, not Love and Hip Hop. Love and Basketball goes ahead to make like all kind of records possible that put Omar Epps in a position where he thought like, this is it. I'm on my way. Look out, here comes Omar Epps. He has did it. And Omar Epps at this time was like I told you, he was an A-list star. He had a movie for Dracula 2000 on the table. He had all of these things set up for him after he did Love and Basketball. He had like 2, 3 movies set up. He was filming a movie called Big Trouble. All of these things are going on, and people are like, okay, this is great. This is, Omar Epps is here. He's arrived. People are loving it. She got nominated for Love and Basketball. She won like about 2 awards, BET awards. She was nominated for Best Black Actress. And all of these different scenarios are taking place. Uh, Takashi Kitano was doing a Japanese gangster movie called Brother. I love that movie, by the way. That's a great movie. And Omar Epps being in the movie was a surprise, to see him in this type of role. But Omar Epps wanted to show people that don't typecast me as the black actor who could only be in black movies. So when this situation was like completed and over with, and going to the the next level as the years were going on, um, he's like, okay, where's my next project? He wasn't getting those projects. He was getting beat out by Tay Diggs, and he couldn't believe it. Like, wow. Um, the Brown Sugar Project goes to Tay Diggs, and it didn't go to him. That was a little kind of shocking for him, you know. It didn't go to him. A lot of people have, scenarios where that happens. But now it's like Sanaa Lathan, she's everywhere after loving basketball. It's projecting her into the cover of magazines, her and Omar Epps. She's talking about the relationship. She is living her best quality life, and it was something. It was completely something because she was on the rise and he was not really, taking off after loving basketball. And it's like she's blowing up now and he's kind of not. And this kind of played out in the relationship a little bit because now he's a little resentful, over her success. And, she can feel that. You can feel the divide when you feel your career is going somewhere else and his career is not going the way it is. It's kind of like on hold. He's got other projects. He's wanting to know when his movie's dropping. He's got other films that he was doing, and his agent is like, well, they want to go with this guy. And he's like, are you serious? With my resume? He didn't understand why he was not getting work. And he was becoming frustrated because of it. It was, this is his livelihood. And then he's not getting that support at home. And people don't realize how men do need to feel supported at times as well. And if they feel they're not getting that support, then they kind of feel like you're against them too. Then, he's also was thinking about, talking about dicey subjects like kids and family and things like that. And Sanaa just wasn't in the mode of thinking like that. She has a lot going on. And definitely she just wanted to push that subject deeper into. She's like, right now, I got all this going on. I'm not talking about kids right now. We'll see. Like that's years down the road. He's like, well, how long you want to wait? It's these type of conversations that happen. A lot of people think it's just cheating that's going on. That people, go through their divide and separate. But no, that wasn't the case. So when all of these things are playing out and starting to come to fruition, you're starting to see a divide between who, you know, who they want to be somewhere and who want to be somewhere else. And you kind of see that as much as black people, in the essence, they love this black couple together. There were plenty of other people in Hollywood that loved Sanaa Lathan, and they found like, man, we just discovered her, but we need her away from this situation. So her agent started to work on her and start saying, you could really take off if you did this and did that. And she thought after loving basketball, like all these opportunities is gonna be there. They had her all these sponsorship things for her to make some money on the side, but all she got was the brown sugar part. And because Omar Epps had done Love and Basketball with her, he wasn't going to be able to get that role. And that was that. So after all the fighting for about 2, 3 years, they were really not seeing too much of each other. And seeing too much of each other when they both didn't have a lot going on, they realized that this was never going to work out. He was becoming envious of her success and bitter at the fact about what's happening with him. Then he kind of felt like she kind of used me a little bit for my fame to get herself on, and then she bounced off to go do something else. So it's a lot of people who weren't happy about what had transpired in the situation. Fox Searchlight did it. Magic Johnson was one of the producers of this film, and the film made I say about $22 million more than what it took to make the film. So it definitely earned its keep and then some. So it was one of those films that you love to watch with a girl. She's gonna love Brown Sugar. And Taye Diggs is becoming the romantic comedy guy, while Omar Epps is becoming a guy who they consider to be aging out, which was ridiculous. For a lot of roles, they were like Taye Diggs looked older than Omar Epps. So, but he was the it guy at the time, and Omar Epps was the guy who just didn't fit these type of roles that they saw himself as. But that I would call that a good hip hop movie too. And, it delved into a lot of different situations. Love Brown Sugar. So anyway, as the relationship started to curve, she went on and got a role. With Denzel Washington. She auditioned for the part, and the part basically went to Kenya Moore. Kenya Moore had the part, and this is what really did the relationship in, because they really weren't talking at the time, but they weren't officially done. But this was a role for Denzel Washington, and she really wanted this part. Now, this is word around the campfire. Kenya Moore had did like 2, 3 auditions, and she had beat out a lot of people, and Kenya Moore had the role. That's from what I told, that they were ready to start saying, Kenya Moore is going to have this role. And next thing you know, they auditioned Sanaa Lathan. She comes in, she does her audition, and it was like Kenya Moore did a better job at the audition of acting for this role than Sanaa Lathan did. That was, that's word around the campfire, but I don't take that with a grain of salt, you know. I don't really buy that, but they were telling Kenya Moore she had the role. Next thing you know, um, they called Kenya Moore back for another read. They was like, yeah, we want to have one more read, this one scene that's very vital to the film. We want to have you audition. We're bringing in you and Sanaa Lathan. So her and Sanaa Lathan has this read for the film, and she's like, Sanaa Lathan she was complaining because she felt she blew it. She's like, oh my God, I blew it, because I should have had this by now. So she went to go talk to her agent, and she talked to another couple of some producers came in. They talked to Sanaa Lathan, and she was able to sit and actually talk with Denzel Washington for some reason. And And it was like she did a scene with Denzel. Like you had to come in and do the scene with Denzel. And then she was like, after that, Kenya Moore scene with Denzel was like, formality. And Sanaa Lathan came in and she was very confident. Like whatever they told her in this meeting or whatever went down, um, when they came to do the reshoot, she had the look of, I already got it, but let me go ahead and do this anyway. And it was so lackluster of the performance, and it was like, okay, great, we'll call your agent, thank you. So Kenya Moore didn't get it, and it went to Sanaa Lathan. This is like the second time, Sanaa Lathan had basically took a movie role from her, but it is what it is. Kenya Moore is Kenya Moore. This is Sanaa Lathan. So I understand that. I mean, for for them to even consider hiring an unknown to play that kind of role, you have to have some type of acting ability to be able to pull that off. And I just don't think she did. Then rumors started to spread that Sanaa Lathan slept around with Denzel Washington to get the movie role. They were like, oh, they were really steamy on the set. And I think her agent or somebody thought like that was be a good way to get her publicity. Now, I don't know if it's true or not, but the rumor is out there, and it took off. And I guess they tried to use that to market the film. Like, oh, there was a love affair on the set, but Denzel Washington is never that kind of actor who needs a controversy or something scummy to sell his movie. He didn't like it. He didn't like it one bit. And he definitely didn't like, he wanted to know, where did it come from? Where did it start? Who is saying this? And why? Because he definitely don't want to be asked anything stupid like this in an interview. Not with him. He don't do trash. And that's one thing about him that would really drive him insane. He doesn't like trash. Like, especially that media and all that. No, 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 no. Whatever the trending topic. So this is before the internet was even rampant. The internet was rampant then. They would have had all kind of stories about this. So of course, this was at the point where Omar Epps and Sanaa Lathan was about done, and this just was the killing blow. Then it was like, oh well, he's dating his friend Keisha, and his friend Keisha and him, they had feelings, they knew each other. So Omar Epps and Keisha started back talking. They were friends, and next thing you know, a year later, they're dating. And less than a year later, they have a kid after that and get married, and he's been married for what, 15, 16 years? So it was obvious what Omar Epps wanted. He wanted a family. And Sanai's career was not going to allow her to be that girl. And you could tell now where she's at 16 years later, you know, she cared more about her career and not motherhood and things of that nature. So, she started doing a lot of risque things, and, you know, it was what it was. Next thing you know, she started saying it's okay to date white guys. She started going out dating white guys and did a movie, Something New, which opened her up to a whole nother market, And Out of Time, unfortunately for Denzel Washington, was one of his biggest failures of a movie because that definitely didn't do well. Well, he didn't want to have that representation of him, and that, oh, Denzel Washington, he's got to sleep with all his, you know, co-workers, or they had something going on, And it's unfortunate, and he didn't like it because it always involves, whenever he's with an African American in a movie role, now here comes a scandal. When he did the movie with Angelina Jolie, there was no rumor about him sleeping with Angelina Jolie on the set. They wouldn't do that to her, but they would do that to another actress. So that's why he wouldn't even want that brought up in his conversation. But just that talk period was just what Omar Epps needed to just seal the deal, seal everything. So by the time the movie came out with all this controversy and nonsense, people were thinking they went in there, us, we people going in there to see the controversy. Say, "Ooh, yeah, look at that. There is some sparks. Yeah, something was going on during this movie." Other people who just went to watch the movie just was like, "Okay, I want to watch the movie, but I don't want to see any crap." And the movie just, it was a hit or miss, and it just wasn't a good fit. And to see Denzel play that kind of role was a little surprising, and it just didn't work out. And everybody's moved on. So, with that being said, I'm out. Don't forget to subscribe to the page. Like I said, my name's Carcino. Hit me up on the Cash App and make a donation. All those wonderful things. And that's it. We go.